If you build Kafka, you need to build Luca and Sampo as well, or else she won't work. Myth or fact? Hello everyone, I'm Lily, and in this video I want to talk about a what-if scenario where you pull Kafka but don't have Luca or Sampo to pair with her. Is she still viable? The short answer is yes, she is. Kafka is a versatile character that can be used in several ways. DOT enabler is her strongest trait. This is how she's designed by the game developer. However, she's also quite capable in a hyper-carry role using crit build. Aside from her DOT, she has good skill and follow-up attack multiplier. Crit Kafka will be focusing on these non-DOT attacks to do damage. Of course, even with crit build, she still does DOT, we won't leave this part, but the majority of the damage comes from non-DOT attacks. I did some calculations earlier. I use an Eidolon 6 serval as comparison with similar gears to my serval. You know, my serval gears are quite good. You have also seen her showcase in MOC Floor 10 and Memory of Xianzhou Floor 6. She's totally viable for endgame content. I only changed the relic set to Lightning plus Space Station combination and also changed Break Effect Rope to attack. So the serval in this calculation is non-hybrid build, which is stronger than mine. In a solo simulation, the result is as follows. I will show both single target and AoE damage because Serval and Kafka are AoE characters. I assume there are 3 target enemies for the AoE calculation. This is the benchmark for Kafka. If her damage with crit build is close to it, that means crit Kafka is totally viable too. The stat for crit Kafka is slightly different because Serval has the advantage of using crit damage chest due to having crit rate traces. She also has a higher base speed, which results in less substat roll needed to hit the 134 speed breakpoint. But I tried to balance the investments. And here's the result. Using S5 Fermata Light Cone, it appears crit Kafka is inferior to Serval by quite a big margin. She wins in single target damage, but gets crushed in AoE damage. Serval is truly a monster in AoE scenario. But hold on, this is using S5 Fermata. When I change the light cone to S3 Goodnight Sleep Well, which is the other Nihility light cone that I have, her damage surpasses Serval in both single target and AoE. Ha! Myth busted. You don't need Sampo and Luca in a hyper carry setup, do you? This number will be higher in a full team scenario where there are buffers and external DOT that Kafka can trigger. At some point somebody will break, and that counts as DOT too, except for Quantum and Ice. So if you happen to have a proper crit gear, don't you worry to give it to her. She can also carry using full attack build, by the way. According to my calculation, it is around 10% stronger. Her skill and follow-up attacks become weaker, but her DOT is massive now. As I mentioned in the previous video, this is the build that I personally choose, and I won't be building Luca or Sampo because I simply don't have the materials. So yeah, the conclusion is that Hyper Carry Kafka is legit.